Hey, First Baptist, hope you're doing well. I want to ask you a question. What does it look like to follow Jesus? What does it look like to live out this new life we've been given? There's a number of different ways we can answer that question. But one of the ways we can answer that question is that it looks like a life in community with others. It certainly does not look like us living in silos, in isolation, whether that's physical isolation or that's just practical relational isolation. The Christian life is not designed to be lived that way. You look at the New Testament in particular, and you just see that. Like, God saves us into a people. When we are united with Christ, we are also united with a whole body of believers, right? And then we're to live that out, right? We're baptized into one body, now let's live as one body. Such a consistent theme through the New Testament. It's how God's designed us to live, to be a part of a family, to be a part of a building with different blocks put together, right? To function together. So that's God's design. That's what the Christian life looks like. And we see that in places like the one another's of the New Testament. If you've ever looked at the list of, there's like 59 of them, one another's, where there are these commands of love one another, encourage one another, comfort one another, pray for one another, and you could go on, right? Rebuke one another, exhort one another, bear one another's burdens. There's all of these commands, these calls for us to live out what God has made us, namely one body, and to live out how he's designed us to live and walk in this newness of life. So we have all these one another's, and the question I just want to ask you is, what does that look like in your life? It's not going to look perfect. It's not like it's going to be every second of every day. But these are the sorts of things where we want to say, hey, it is to look like something. It is to look like something. It's not an option to ignore this call to live in fellowship, in a life with a body of believers, with a family, right? And we saw some of that on Sunday in that the way that Paul put such a priority on encouraging other believers. So that's the question. What does that look like in your life? And I think it's particularly relevant right now as maybe a lot of us are coming back to more normal lives and things kind of ramp up. And I just want to ask you, are you making room for this non-negotiable? To be functionally, truly involved in relationships regularly, consistently, where you have people who know you and you can practice these one another's with, right? And that's the point of community groups. So community groups are not the end-all be-all. There are other ways this can happen within the church, within structured ministries, within just informal times that you have with people. Maybe you just get together with somebody to pray every week, or you meet up with somebody to read through a book every week. It can happen in different ways. Again, the point is that it happens, right? We need this. We want this. It's God's command. The point is that it happens. And community groups are just a way as a church. We're looking to set the table, to put the ball on the tee so you can hit it, right? To just give you a push start in this. And so they're designed for this kind of mutual care where you are speaking truth to each other, where you are living in relationship with each other, where you're caring for each other, where you're bearing each other's burdens, where you're praying for each other. So they're designed to be for that kind of atmosphere, that kind of culture that you would come to these groups in someone's home, more intimate setting where you're willing to share your life and you're willing to open up and you're willing to receive the encouragement you need and you're ready to know others, to give the encouragement they might need. You're ready to learn and to be convicted of sin and maybe have people say hard things to you. So that's what community groups are designed for. And so I want to just encourage you right now to consider that. Where is this one anothering, this life in community that God's designed you for? Where is that happening? And might community groups be a way for that to happen for you? Our community groups we're doing signups right now. They're going to start meeting probably in the next week or maybe two for some of the groups. If you have particular needs, let us know, reach out. Reach out to one of the group leaders. I think we have a group that might be meeting on Zoom. A couple others might be meeting in person. There's a couple different locations, obviously. So reach out. Let us know what you're thinking. But again, the big point is, let's make it look like something. We need each other. And we need people to really know us and really be in our lives. So let's do that together. Love you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing how God uses us in each other's lives as we take seriously and by the strength and power of the Spirit walk forward, encouraging each other. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.